Uprising. Welcome back to the Uprising. I'm solo today, so I'm just going to kind of just give my thoughts, what I think and hope's going to happen during this election. And I'll give some critiques on what I think is going to happen afterwards, but that will be after the election. And after we do that, we'll take a couple weeks off and we'll get right back at to it, and unless some crazy things like, I hate to say this, and I wish I was joking, but civil war or something crazy like that, where Trump refuses to insane things. If it's something insane happens, we'll come back. But unless something insane happens, then we'll stay we're going to take a couple of weeks off. Anyway, so getting that out of the way. Been seeing a lot of kind of polls that a little bit closer. I'm a little less confident than I was last week. Still think Biden's going to win, but not as confident, a little nervous. And it's just, I feel like the GOP and Trump and his band of doofuses are going to pull a lot of shady things, and I am really nervous about that. And I don't know, these campaign aides for Biden were saying that they're not liking their early returns on the Black and the Hispanic vote. That worries me. The enthusiasm worries me for Biden instead of Trump. The other thing that worries me is what is going to happen with these ballots. Are they going to do shenanigans and throw them out, and Bush v. Gore and the Supreme Court? So there's a lot of bad scenarios been popping in my mind that really been worrying me. If it's close, we're screwed, honestly. If it's under probably 300, honestly, we're screwed. Because if it's under 300 for electoral votes for Biden, it's close enough that they can do some shady things. Say Biden wins Pennsylvania, they do some shady things with the mail-in ballots and get a ton of them tossed, and Trump does great on election day. That worries me. That's 20 electoral votes that will go to Trump instead of Biden. If it's close, man, I think they're going to take it. They're going to steal it. And if they do that, I don't know what's going to happen with this country. I don't know if we survive that, because that will be two in my lifetime. In 20 years, I'm 30, but that's two in my lifetime. 2000 Gore versus Bush, and 2020 Bush, Trump versus Biden. So I am worried about that. These numbers, so many people voting early. Now, that's the other thing I wonder about. Are these people just voting early instead of on election day because of the virus, or are we going to see a ton of people voting on election day and with the mail-in voting? I don't know. I worry about that. I worry about mostly Democrats are voting with earlier with the mail-in and everything, and shadiness is going to happen there. I'm really worried about that. Now, obviously, not only Democrats have been early voting. It's been Republicans as well. Now, on the flip side, conservatives tend to be older. Now, this election's a bit different, but they're still usually older. So, and older people take this virus, mostly, not always, but mostly take this virus more seriously than people younger, for obvious reasons. That it affects them mostly. But other thing is, especially if Democrats mostly voted early or everything, and Republicans don't vote early, and they're going to have to wait in long lines because there is going to be a lot of shenanigans, I think. So I wonder about that. I wonder about just hanging chads, the protests in the 2000s happening again, but way worse. Worry about that as well. I don't know. I'm really nervous. Really nervous. In 2016, I was correct. I was into politics, but I wasn't as obviously as bit of a show. I just watched it as a voter. I thought Trump was going to win. I thought Trump was going to win the primary. The second after he gave that Mexicans are rapist speech, like, well, he's probably going to win a GOP primary. Then I started paying attention because of those statements. I was like, all right, well, I'm not voting for him. Who we got? Hillary Clinton? Ugh. Then I found Bernie and fell in love there. But anyway, I wasn't really paying attention as close as I am now, especially to everything else outside of the general election. So I'm paying attention to everything. No, not everything, of course, but as much as I can with my limited resources. But I correctly predicted Trump was going to win in 2016. Main reason is Hillary Clinton's a terrible candidate. It was a really populist mood. Trump was talking populist messaging, save your jobs, stuff like that, mixed in with the reactionary rhetoric with the wall and Mexicans are stealing your jobs and everything else. So, of course, he didn't do that this go around, which was moronic. He's a socialist sucks, even though Joe Biden's nowhere near socialism, which is, I don't know who gave him this advice, if it's himself or whoever was around him. They're stupid, and the main reason why he lost and him not taking the virus seriously, really ever. Well, he did it for a couple of weeks, and would have kept doing that in like March with the briefings every day. I think if he would have kept doing that, he probably would have been probably in one. I think they would have took this virus more seriously, not given up on everything when they did. And I want to say kind of late April. I think not many people would have died. I think it wouldn't be as political. I think if Trump would have said what he knew was already happening, would have made not even a mask mandate, which probably wouldn't have needed to. He would just say wear a mask, social distancing, which we're doing now. If we would have did in early stages of this virus, maybe we would not have as many deaths, very likely. I mean, pretty much a guarantee. Excuse me. But he didn't, and the main reason why he's going to lose is because of virus and the depression, and people just tired. People just tired of this stuff. They want to. Some people just want to go back to sleep, not care about politics anymore. That's mostly liberals. Other people just tired and don't want to have to care as much, which I think is a lot of other people. Like some people are just voting just to get Trump out so they can get back to not have to worry every day. So again, I think Biden's probably going to win. I think right now I'm at 317. I'm kind of starting to lean a little bit that Joe Biden might win Georgia as well. If I'm really close to actually flipping that, but I haven't decided that on yet. But I do have Biden winning, and well, let's be prepared, and hopefully Trump just whines and complains and says election stolen, whatever, but he eventually gets out in January, and we can start holding Biden accountable, and we'll definitely do that. That is the second that he gets inaugurated. Oh yeah, we're going to be on him. We already are. I'm already are on Instagram. I haven't really been having kid gloves with him. I've been encouraging the people to vote for him, but I haven't done that really. As other people I really respect have been pretty much, I wouldn't say cheerleading him, but really encouraging. I've been encouraging, just not nowhere near as much as other people have, because it's just, people are going to vote for who they want to vote for. I can do as much, but we want to vote for who we want to vote for, and I hope Biden wins. I don't want Trump 4 more years. I don't know if the country can handle it. I don't know if we're going to go into civil war or anything like that. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic, but I think that's on the table, which it should never be on the table. So, and if he gets reelected, I definitely think that is on the table, and that is really close to hand reach, which terrifies me. And it doesn't terrify. If it doesn't terrify you, there honestly, I think there's something wrong with you, because there's this. We don't want that, man. And thinking that there would be some communist socialist revolutions is delusional in my eyes. It would likely be a fascist revolution that we don't want. I think if Trump gets reelected, which is possible, I think he's going to continue doing what he's doing. I think he's going to really go after the left. And liberals are not going to stop that, really. They don't like us. They hate as much as Republicans do, so they're not going to do anything about that. And I think there's a lot of more of the Reinhold man that shot that mega dude in Portland. I think more like that's going to happen, which terrifies me as well. This acceleration thing is just stupid in my eyes. I was kind of in that boat in 2016. I still thought Hillary Clinton should. I wasn't rooting for her and I didn't vote for her, but I still want her to win. But my rationale of it wasn't been in the world if Trump won because of that accelerationism. But the accelerationism really hasn't worked in my eyes. As to a certain degree, AOC and squad's elected, people are paying attention, but people are scared, so they went with Joe Biden instead of Bernie. If Trump wasn't as terrible as he has been, MSNBC, mainstream media, not scaring the living shit out of boomers and liberals. And I think 2020 actually has kind of changed my opinion on Trump. I'm a lot more worried about him than I was previously to this year, especially with the uprising and George Floyd uprising, BLM uprising. How do you handle that? Just that completely changed the ball game for me. But either way, so again, I think I hope Joe Biden wins. My game plan for after Joe Biden, the election, after the election, I'll get into that. If Joe Biden wins, of course, I'll likely do a show either Wednesday or Thursday. I haven't decided yet, but we'll see what happens election night. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Of course, post anything that your thoughts, like and share, and comment, man, and tell everyone about the show. We're trying to build a big progressive media space for progressives to have a voice. And these coming cycles, we're going to really, really go completely hard and try to get as many people on the show as possible. I mean, great candidates as possible. And that's about it. So this is Uprising. Thanks for watching.